Welcome to In the Genes.
We're your hosts, Jill and Michael Stone, a mother and son team with a knack for finding the perfect places for memorable meetings and events.
From convention and visitors bureaus to boutique hotels and hidden gems, we talk to the experts who make these destinations shine.
Get ready to uncover the insider secrets and unique features that'll elevate your events to the next level.
Because site selection, it's in our genes. Our guest today is Trina Flack, CMP, Vice President of Sales of Catch Des Moines. Hi, Trina. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're so happy to hear about Des Moines and all the amazing things that are going on there, have gone on there, will go on there, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll just kind of jump right in and talk about, first thing I always ask about is the airport, because that's always such a big thing for most people is how do I get there? How long does it take? You know, what happens when I get there? That kind of thing. So why don't you let us know a little bit more about how that all works in Des Moines?
Yep. We have the Des Moines International Airport. It's actually located just 4 miles from downtown. So it's about a 10-minute shuttle Uber drive from downtown, or really 15 minutes from anywhere in the city. We have about 30 direct flights from, all destinations all over the country. Washington, D.C. is one that I get asked about a lot, but all areas of the country. We have Southwest Airlines, which that kind of keeps our prices competitive. And we're actually a hub for Allegiant Air.
Oh.
So our airport's undergoing an expansion right now, which will be ready in 2027, which really just means that we'll be able to have larger aircraft spend the night and have, more flights every single day.
Oh, okay. I remember that when I was there a couple years ago. So the airport's going to be larger, right? You're adding on to it.
We're adding on to it. Yeah, we're adding a terminal and really just making those gates a little bit bigger, or allowing larger jets to be here, more parking for those planes so that we can have more spend the night here, which means, additional flights out in the mornings.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Really cool. Okay. And then you mentioned only a few minutes to downtown, which is awesome and easy then for people to get downtown to the hotels. So what is, what kind of sizes of groups can you have downtown?
So really, we can house any size of group downtown. Our peak block, we say, is about 2,800 downtown, and that 2,800 number is if I do a little bit of begging. So probably a little bit less than that, but We've had groups of up to 10,000. Our arena size is 17,000. So we can accommodate all sizes. I think about National Speech and Debate is a really good example. It's a group that we're hosting in June of this year. And it's 7,000 middle school and high school students, along with their coaches and parents and chaperones and all the extras. So looking at about 11,000 people total.
Wow.
So they'll be at the Iowa Event Center, our convention center, along with, a handful of schools throughout the community, which is how they spread out their event. But so that's 11,000. They're not all staying downtown, but, a good chunk will be completely full downtown as well. And a mix of flying and driving and just all the ways people get here.
Yeah, 7,000 middle and high schoolers. Yikes.
For an entire week,
No.
Wow.
Better have some good cleanup crews around there.
This group is, they're speech and debate. So they are extremely well-spoken, well-dressed. Our shops and our restaurants, our coffee shops absolutely love them. They hang out and, sing and just make a name for themselves for sure. So we couldn't ask for a better group of kids to be around in the summer.
Yeah, well, I was in speech and debate when I was in high school, and they're extremely intelligent as well, I believe.
Oh, you would toot your own horn on this podcast,
you're
wouldn't
such
you?
a good example of that.
Exactly.
You don't got to make her head any bigger. We still got to get out of this place.
No, actually, they're usually very well-mannered.
Yeah, typically they're the better behaved
really
kids.
Good life skills, we're not just arguing to argue. It's like we're making a point. Salespeople that I'm looking to hire for sure.
There you go. That's what you should sit in
You're
on some of them.
recruiting out of there,
yeah,
I see.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Sit in on some of those and grab them early. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So it sounds like you can have some really large meetings and handle it well, which is good to know. But what about, let's say you don't have a group that's quite that large. Where can you go?
Yeah. Actually, that's a sweet spot too. So if we're focused on downtown, just the Iowa Event Center is our convention center. So it's almost 300,000 square feet of space, 150,000 square feet of exhibit space, all sorts and sizes of breakout rooms. So we just added one of the newest things would be a new junior ballroom to that space, which is about 10,000 square feet. So adding meeting spaces of all sizes. And then, naturally the hotels all have meeting space. So depending on what your size is there too. And then offsite venues. I think about the World Food Prize, which is headquartered in Des Moines. The Hall of Laureates is what their headquarter name is. The World Food Prize was invented. It's essentially the Nobel Prize for agriculture. So it's awarded each year to someone or a group of individuals that have made great strides to feeding the world. But their headquarters is just beautiful event space. So we use that for meetings. It's also kind of one of those top destinations for offsite venues as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Feeding the world, very important. Well, you know what? Yeah, I mean, that's great. Well, what else is there to do? I know that there's a lot of businesses in Des Moines, lots of things going on.
Yeah, so Des Moines is really the number 2 insurance and financial hub in the country. So we sit behind Hartford and have over 80 insurance and financial companies that are headquartered here. So what naturally comes with that is the arts and culture scene. So we have, performing arts venue where Hadestown was last weekend. We have Hamilton, a run of Hamilton upcoming. So all sorts of shows and concerts, smaller concert venues, larger concert venues. Our farmers market kicks off here in about 2 weeks, that first weekend in May. So we have one of the largest farmers markets in the country. It spans about 8 blocks, and it's all, there's tons of fresh fruits and vegetables and produce, arts and crafts. Just, eat your way through it and take home more to eat later, I think. So when we talk about Iowa, it's naturally that farm to table. So the farmers market is one of our top attractions here that happens weekly on Saturdays. And then most of the suburbs and communities also do a farmers market. So most of the days of the week, you could really bop from farmers market to farmers market. No egg shortage here in Iowa.
You might have to mail us some then.
Yeah, really.
The cheap,
have you send us some?
Yeah, straight from the homestead, straight from the chickens for sure. So there's just, there's shopping. We're a capital city. So Des Moines is the capital of Iowa. So we have all of the major things that you would expect in a capital city, the zoo, the science center, the casino, great shopping, amazing restaurants, all of those basic attractions. We've got those here too. And then the things like a living history farm. So if we're leaning into our heritage, and a working farm. Again, just that unique neighborhood piece. And festivals. We also have an arts festival that takes place in June. It's the end of June, and it closes down really the west side of downtown, and all major artists. And then we incorporate some local artists, live music, food vendors, of course. Lots going on.
Yeah, it sounds like it. What else? I was trying to think. Last time I was in Des Moines, it's been a while, but I remember way back being in Des Moines and remembering things just kind of closing down when the insurance companies closed, around 5:00. But that's not true anymore, right?
That's not true anymore. No. Again, the nightlife has recovered. I think that there's been kind of this boom of people wanting to live downtown, and maybe the younger generation living downtown has played a good role in it. It used to be that, you'd live in the suburbs and you'd come work at your insurance company and then you'd go home. And that's not necessarily the case anymore. So there's a younger generation that's living here. There's also just people that, potentially don't have kids and are wanting to be closer to work, or we've retired and don't want to manage the lawn or any of the things like that. So it's a good mix of people. We have a giant skyscraper that's being built that's like 30 some stories tall. That's all going to be housing. And so I think that mix of housing and visitors and events are just creating more of that nightlife and dynamic downtown, so that the restaurants stay open and people are willing to, go grab a bite before they go to whatever show or concert, or some, if the East Village is going to stay open late on a Thursday night, then, go shop and do all those things. So it's definitely more lively than it was 15, 20 years ago, for sure.
Yeah, sounds like it. Well, what about are there any little hidden gems that only the locals would know about?
So we actually have a whole list of all of that kind of stuff. We call it our the best list because, the tagline here in Des Moines is only the S's are silent. And we crowdsource our the best list on a regular basis, because you're right. You don't want to go to a destination and eat at whatever chain restaurant is there, or whoever happened to pay the most for their advertising. You want to know, where's that best steak? Where's that best dessert? Where's the best tenderloin? All of those things. So we curated a whole bunch of lists that are, focused not only on food, but also on those neighborhoods or those speakeasies, or just kind of the favorites around town. So, leaning into that neighborhood, which makes our city what it is a big piece of that. I don't know, some of those examples would be like an Easter Lake, or we have some water assets here, which is crazy for the middle of the country. I'm not going to even try to compete with a mountain or an ocean, but I will say that if you want to get out on a kayak or do something like that, you've got the opportunities, which actually that's kind of I'm kind of taking us on a tangent, but that's an interesting story too. Des Moines is at the center of two rivers, the Des Moines River and the Raccoon River. And like many cities, we have forever ignored our rivers until they flood, and then we swear at them. But 90% of the time, we just pretend they don't even exist as part of our city. But we're in the middle of a giant whitewater project. It's called Icon Water Trails. And one of the main pieces is going to be dam mitigation throughout downtown, so that there's 3 different points as you kind of work through downtown of different levels of activity. So you can, experience the rapids while you're in Des Moines, Iowa, or you could just stand on the sidelines and watch people experience those rapids.
that would be me.
Spectator sport.
That would be me. I'll watch.
Yeah, I feel like a nice patio where I watch people do their thing seems kind of more like it. There's plenty of opportunities to do a float too, but I just think about what that does to how we use our rivers and how those rivers impact downtown too,
Yeah, no, that's very, very cool. But yes, I'll be on the sidelines with a drink in my hand watching people do those things. I'll stay dry. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
but otherwise, the hidden gems, would be like a steak de Burgo, which is here in town. There's a strawberry shortcake that's only seasonal. There's a speakeasy within the Hotel Fort Des Moines. That's, top secret, of course. Some shops that are only open, 2 or 3 days a week. We have lists of all of these things that are depending on how long you're going to be here and who you really want to talk to. The best lists are really, really where it's at.
I like that. Are they on the website then? On your website?
They're on our website. Yes. CatchDesMoines.com.
I'm going to go check that out and see which the best thing I want to do the next time I come to Des Moines.
It's not going to be whitewater rapids.
No whitewater rafting for me, but maybe the shops. I like the idea of the shops.
I can find you a good patio to watch.
Perfect. Yeah.
Awesome.
Put that on the best list.
There we go.
Yeah.
We were doing a little bit of research before we were going to interview you or have you on the podcast, and we came up with the Papa John Sculpture Park.
Yeah, so we have a $20 million sculpture park in the middle of downtown. It's on the west side. It's free and open to the public, and it's lit with walking paths throughout, so you can experience it day or night. And just giant art, some that, you will also see in other cities that have been commissioned in here, and some that are completely unique to Des Moines, Iowa. And then, a handful of restaurants and, other things around. But there's a place called Black Cat Ice Cream that's funded, go grab an ice cream cone and meander through the sculpture park. And the Des Moines Art Center, you can actually get a docent that will come. There's a couple, like you can do the thing on your phone, right, where it's like your self-guided tour, but you could also have a docent that walks with you and tells you about each piece of art.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that sounds fun.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That's really neat. Well, I think I've seen that when I've been there, but just sort of as I was, going from the airport to a hotel. I don't think I've ever gotten a chance to actually go through
definitely on your way.
Yeah. So I would love to. Eventually, I'm going to have time to do that the next time, maybe when I get there. Well, Trina, is there anything else you'd like to share with us that maybe we haven't touched on?
I think we've touched on the bulk of it. I would say the things that I hear the most about Des Moines is I didn't realize that you were a city, right? Everyone's got their perception of what Iowa is. We are a city in the middle of Iowa, and Iowa is located right smack in the middle of the country. We're 5 hours from Chicago, 3 hours from Kansas City, 3 hours from Minneapolis, 2 hours from Omaha. So we're about 5.5 from St. Louis. So we're kind of smack in the middle of all the things. And we host groups big and small and really love to have them. I mean, Iowa Nice is a real thing. So the people that you meet here are going to be fun and friendly. Our restaurants are delicious and fresh and locally owned. So I think that's kind of a fun flavor too. And we're clean, we're safe and affordable. So kind of all the basics that seem just kind of like, yeah, of course you are, but they're really important as you look to make a decision that impacts, who you are, who you're bringing with you.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right about all those things, the safety, the cleanliness, everything. I have never seen anything not that way when I've been there. So I appreciate that. And you're right. You're bringing a group, and depending on, the kind of, any kind of group, you want those things. You want lots of things to do. You want cleanliness. You want, safety, because that's important to everybody, no matter who you are. So good to know about Des Moines and the best of Iowa. So, yeah. Trina, thank you.
One other fun fact.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Would be that Pinterest was invented here. So if you have a Pinterest board, it's because the inventor is from Iowa. So that's my other random fact for you today.
That's actually interesting. I do have a Pinterest board. I don't get on it nearly as much as I should, but or maybe I shouldn't, because it would take me down a rabbit hole. I think too many things. But yeah, I enjoy Pinterest every now and then. So good to know that. So, well, Trina, thank you so much for being on our podcast today and telling us all about Des Moines. I think we've learned a lot, and I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right.
Anytime. Take care, Trina.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
For everyone else, thanks for joining us on this journey on In the Genes.
If you love today's destination, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with your fellow meeting managers.
Have you got a location you think we should spotlight? Send us your ideas. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time, happy planning and safe travels.